Hey Dreamers, I am super excited about our upcoming workshop on building your own Oracle deck with myself, Dreaming Julie, and Cassandra, creator and founder of DreamPath. As active dream teachers, we know the power of personal images. So we want to capture those images, put them into cards, create a reference book so that you can leave this workshop with your own personal Oracle deck. This video is going to introduce you to the supplies and materials that you're going to need for that workshop, and I'm going to share a little bit of my own process to help you figure out what kind of tools and materials you might need to create your own Oracle deck. So we're going to send you a list that has many of these things that I'm going to talk about, as well as a link to the Amazon list that we've created. So don't worry if you don't catch all of these right away, because we're going to be sending these to you in an email. So one of the most important materials you're going to need are cards. Cassandra and I have experimented with multiple different kinds, from playing cards where there was like a film on them to business type cards. But we've really found that these Bristol trading cards are really the best. The reason why we like them is, first of all, they're the right size. We really want a 3.5 by 2.5 size card, but also they don't have any film. And so I personally like to use watercolor so they soak in. Cassandra used oil pastels, and it worked for any kind of medium we pretty much used. The next important supply you're going to need is a book. Cassandra and I have experimented with many different kinds, from building your own to taking a journal off the shelf that we'd never used before. I just got this book today and I'm really excited about it because I'm going to decorate the front, and like the other ones that I've built before, it's got blank pages so I can draw in it or just put words on it, but it just gives me the ability to create however I want to create. Or another option would be a book with graph paper. Here's an example of a book that Cassandra used. Here you can see I've got this book that I already created, and for each section I used different colors. So for fire, I used a red pen. For water, I used a blue pen. For earth, a green, and then so on. So later when I go back and look at it, I'll be able to find the elements and the sections much easier. You can also see here that I put tabs in it. It was really helpful for me as I was creating this book. When I wanted to go to the fire section, I was easily be able to find it, just picked up the tab for fire and I flipped right to it. When I want to go to the water section, I found the tab and I flipped right to it. I'm not going to keep these tabs on after I create the whole book, but they're really helpful during the creation of the book. So our supplies are a really important part of this process as well. Drawing is usually what you're going to be doing, but you could do anything. Oil pastels, you can just smear paint everywhere if you want to. That's really up to you. My process, I use these Sharpie pens. Now mind you, you do not want to do Sharpie markers because they will bleed through. And then I used watercolor pencils. I had so much fun. I had never used these before. So you just color it in, and then I got a little paintbrush and I had a cup of water and I dabbed it on, and it really blended the colors together very well. Cassandra discovered these great gel crayons. They're kind of a cross between oil pastels and watercolors. This is another option, or you can use oil pastels, you can use gel pens. I mean, you can use pretty much anything. So really get creative, have access to multiple different things so that when you're in the process of putting your images down, you can grab anything to use. So the technology side of things, you're going to need a computer that has both audio and video capability, and then you're going to need Zoom. So you might want to create an account or download the app. We're going to send you the link to that to do any of that stuff. And then you're also going to want a headset or headphones. We will be doing shamanic drumming throughout all of this, and listening to them on computer speakers isn't all that great. So you want to make sure you've got good audio to really help you go deep to capture those images. All right, so I just went through a bunch of materials that you're going to need, a couple things that you're going to need to prep. Get all that stuff together. We are going to send you a list. We are going to send you a link to the Amazon list. Gather all that stuff together the night before. Prep everything so that when we start the workshop, you can go off and running, grab those personal images, create your Oracle deck, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I've been working on this for a while and I'm so excited. I know Cassandra is too, so that we can bring this to you and share with you our passion for dreaming and creating our own Oracle deck. We're going to see you all really soon.